Pre-pandemic, I enjoyed school a lot. I stood around teachers rather than my friends. I was like a teacher's pet. I enjoy being in an environment where I'm surrounded by people. Normally, I follow rules, and things definitely changed when the pandemic happened. I just thought it wasn't really necessary to go to school anymore because who's going to enforce the rules? And I felt like school wasn't as important. It was before 8th grade when we had to enroll in classes. I was like, yeah, this can't happen anymore. I do not like failing classes. I need something to tell me to do this and this and this to make sure that your grades are doing good. I heard about AVID, and it's a class that preps you for college. This is literally the perfect thing for me. So then I applied, thinking that I wasn't going to get in, but here I am now. At first, when I entered the classroom, it was very intimidating. I was thinking, wow, that's a lot of people. I don't know anyone in here. But eventually, as the school year went by, it was honestly really refreshing to go inside the AVID classroom because I got to see my friends, I got other people to talk to, and it wasn't alone. It was a very nice environment. I enjoy having an organized system, like planners and binders definitely help. And as a person, I enjoy being in an environment where I'm surrounded by people. Mrs. Ambrosio, she helped me open up myself to just everyone in general and to help me become more of a sociable person. I think AVID allowed me to work on my individuality where there's certain assignments where you can only focus on yourself, and articles that she tells us to read over sometimes just really helped me learn about myself. I'm always thinking, wow, AVID definitely changed my trajectory in life. I am definitely more confident now. In 7th grade, I don't even think I would have left my room. But now I'm always seeking new opportunities to hang out with friends or just going out and doing things.
Confidence. When you think of middle schoolers, you guys can describe them to be of many different things, but confidence is not one of them. After all, they have just graduated from elementary school and are in a transition stage in their lives. I, for one, can attest to that. However, unlike most middle schoolers, I graduated from elementary school in 2019, meaning that I graduated during the pandemic. Rather than walking around campus looking for a class on the first day of school or sitting in a classroom socializing with friends, I was instead staring at a computer screen. To make matters worse, my Wi-Fi was, and don't get me wrong, still is terrible, meaning that their faces weren't even legible and were instead pixelated, like a picture that never fully loaded. It was as if I walked into the middle of nowhere, opened my Zoom, and expected to see all 4 bars of Wi-Fi to work. Yeah, it just wasn't going to happen. Instead of being in a classroom where the comforts of people sharing the same struggles of being a student, I was instead alone, sitting on my wooden floors and staring at a screen. I didn't have the motivation to go to class, especially since there's no sense of consequence and no reward for relationships. And no, not the boyfriend and girlfriend kind of relationships, maybe, but I was upset about missing all the friendships and new interactions that I could have had. During a vital time of my life when everything was changing, life at home stayed stagnant. Every day was like a repeat of what happened yesterday. I wake up, open my Zoom, then watch literal pixels try teaching me for the next hour. So, as a solution, I began skipping my classes. Silly, I know, but it was hard not to. Although skipping class for this first time gave me a sense of anxiety, after skipping a couple more, it became like a routine for me. I had fallen into a bad habit that I couldn't stop. After weeks had gone by, my missing assignments had gone to double digits, and truthfully, I was scared to face my teachers. My grades dropped each quarter from an A+ to a C. I saw my grades go down, eventually reaching to all Fs. After a couple more months, I lost faith in myself, thinking that my school career had gone out the window along with all my confidence. Family. Coming from an immigrant family that didn't speak English, education was often prioritized. So what I was doing was practically committing a felony. My parents often emphasized that any struggles and sacrifices they go through aren't for naught if it's for me and my siblings. Frequently, my dad often talked about his life and told the story of how he came to America with only a single dollar to his name and a dream. A dream to create a life better for himself, with his wife, and to create a better future for their kids. They wanted to provide an environment where we could finish our education, graduate college, and live the life of a college student that they couldn't have when they were younger. My dad at the time struggled to pay for the house bills due to the pandemic and worked hard to hide it from us. But I saw. I wanted to prove to my dad that his efforts were seen and that his hard work wasn't for nothing. I wanted to prove to my parents that everything they had done for us wouldn't be in vain. Change. I knew that something had to be done the following year when I entered 8th grade. The consequences of skipping class and my failing grades had heavily affected my mental and emotional health. I vowed to myself that I would make a change and to never live that life again. In order to not repeat the same mistakes I had made, I started researching for a way to keep track of my grades. When 8th grade class selection began, I applied to ASB along with other classes I felt would help me improve my academic performance. I vividly remember sitting on my sofa while reading the description of AVID, advancement via individual determination. This stood out to me because it sounded like a class that was created just for me. I needed something to keep me accountable for my grades and to prep me for college, and AVID seemed perfect for me. I applied thinking that I wasn't going to get in, however, I did. Joining AVID had changed my life in a positive way. During the lowest time of my life when I didn't believe in myself, AVID was there for me and laid out the stepping stones for me to succeed. They allowed for a friendly environment that welcomed any students and taught methods on how to stay organized. AVID helped me create new friends and allowed me to rebuild my confidence in my abilities. From team building activities to presenting slideshows in class, AVID has taught me that I should believe in myself and my abilities in life. AVID. A turning point in my life came during my freshman year in high school. I had slowly built up my confidence during the previous year, but I still struggled a lot with speaking with others, and it was seen during this particular moment. I was chosen as a representative to speak for my group, but when I saw all the eyes watching me, I froze, and my mind blinked. I felt a pit in my stomach, and a voice in my head saying, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. So, I had to cut the presentation short. This is not where the story ended, however. Following the weeks ahead, I continued my AVID class, and the opportunity to present arose again. You would think that I would be afraid to present again this time around, and you'd be right. I was terrified. I was worried that my classmates would judge me and that it wasn't worth the trouble to try again because what's the point in trying again when I already failed the first time? Those thoughts clouded my mind, and I wondered, should I even try again? But then I remembered how despite not being able to finish the first time around, my classmates and friends openly showed me the support and told me that it was okay. Because of the friendly environment my AVID teacher and classmates had created, I knew that it would be okay to try presenting again this time. And this time around, I was able to finish the presentation. Like William Shakespeare once said, it is not in our stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Our fate should not be determined by outside forces or by our past, but rather by our own actions and choices we make now. I once believed that my Fs were what defined me as a person and that I could never change, but AVID has changed my mindset. I believe in the belief that no matter what has happened in our past or what mistakes we have made, we can always start new. According to the Oxford language, confidence is ability and the feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. Because of the support and kindness from my teachers and classmates, I now have the confidence to stand in front of all you educators today to share my story. As teachers, you have the power and the responsibility to shape a student's ability by showing them your support. You may not know it yet, but the small actions you think are unnoticed are appreciated. Thank you, AVID, for showing me my abilities and allowing me to shape my future. And I want to thank my family. Thank you.